Hey guys, Lou here from LT's Custom Woodworks. Welcome to the shop. Today, another dollar. Today, I'm going to get started on a coping sled. I have to finish off this island. I got to make the doors for it, and I got to match an existing door which is in their kitchen to their profile on the router table. I don't have a coping sled for that. Never bought one. All these years most of the doors that I do, they're not coped. They're square stock material. It's standard out here in Winnipeg. There's not a lot of the profiles around doors anymore. When I do get the odd one, and I'll show you, I'll bring the camera down so you can see what I'm talking about here. When I do get the odd one, I'll run a backer board up against my fence. I'll run my stock material up against that, and then I'll slide it through, holding really tight and pushing down really tight. When you do, it can be done that way. The problem with that is if you don't grab onto it really good, sometimes it tends to kick back this way. And once it kicks back, you're not going to get a nice square fit. So I decided now's the perfect time, just make a coping sled. Why I've never had one all these years, I guess I'm used to the way I was doing it before. Like I said, I don't get a lot of it. Most of it is just stock material like this, and then I'll join my pieces with dominoes like that, and it's done. So I'm going to take the time today, 20 minutes, half hour, to make my own coping sled. Basically what I got here is 8 inches. 8 inches by 16, 8 by 16, and this is quarter inch, I believe, right? Yeah, quarter inch. What I got going on here, I got my stock block, and I got my, this piece here has to be square. You got to make sure it's square. And then I got my backer piece here, which is going to get a toggle clamp on it. Now, a lot of when you buy a coping sled, and 90% of them are done this way, you got your bed, you got your stop block on this side with a handle, you got your straight edge on this side with a toggle clamp, and then in front of it, you have this plexiglass. Now, the bed itself is 3/4 of an inch away from the fence, and then you have this plexiglass that you can actually see your router bit through that plexiglass, but it also rides along this fence, and that's what makes your stock straight. I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to try something different. I don't know if it's going to work. I'll try it once it's all done. We'll do a demonstration of it, but I'm going to eliminate that plexiglass, and I'm going to use the bed itself to be my straight edge to cut that straight. Now I'll explain to you a little bit as we go on how I'm going to do that, because normally if you got your bed up against straight and your stop block and your stock straight edge with your stock piece beside it, you're going to end up cutting your stop block and everything else with it. But I'm going to try something different to see if it would work without that plexiglass. So I'm going to bring this in closer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 3 inches from one end. Three inches from this end. And then I'm going to measure an inch deep. Instead of 3/4, I'm going to go an inch, just for the hell of it. And I'm going to draw a line right across. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hog out this material. I'm going to cut it on the bandsaw, and then I'll come right back. I cut the piece out, and that is going to be my fence that rides up against my fence. And then I can use that to slide back and forth to make my cut. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find my center point, and I'm going to cut a groove in the back with a 5/8 bit for my T-bolt. And the same thing with this. I'm going to drill a hole in the middle, and that is going to slide back and forth, and that's going to be my stop. So I will find my center point and cut this groove in. I got my groove in the back for my T-bolt. Now I'm just going to run, I didn't change the setting, I just changed the bit, and I'm going to run a groove. I'm going to poke a hole through for my T-bolt to slide back and forth for my clamp, and I'll just go halfway, whatever I think is sufficient. This is going to be moved over here somewhere. I will cut it a little bit smaller. So I will bring this, make sure this is locked. That works pretty good. I'll drill my hole in the center of this, and this will clamp down. I'll find my center point on this. And that's looking pretty good. Perfect. Our next step is to square this to this board. So I'll get a square, and I'm going to push this back a little bit. The reason for that is because I don't want to cut into this piece here. So when I'm let me bring this closer here so we can see what's going on. So when I'm cutting my stock piece, I don't want to cut into this because this is what's going to keep everything straight. So I'm going to move this up around here somewhere. Probably somewhere around there. Then I can put my stock piece in and make my cut. So I'll grab a square. I'm going to take this off for now so I can flip this upside down and keep it flat. I'll get a square, and I will cut this just a little bit shorter, about a 1/2 inch shorter. You know what? I'll keep it like this. I'll keep it like this. That looks pretty good. I'll drill some pilot holes and drive about 3 or 4 screws, and I'll probably put 4 because there's a toggle clamp that's going on this, and I need the strength. Double make sure. That's looking great. I just got to put my toggle clamp on and we're good to go. So basically, there's a sacrificial piece that goes in place. Let's say this is the sacrificial piece. You put your stock in there. You clamp her down. And now you're ready to make that cut. Before we do that, we're going to put our clamp on and go from there. And then we'll test it out. I'm going to mark my holes and just pre-drill. There we are, my sacrificial piece. Let's say this is my stock. And there you go. We're gonna test it out. I will change the blade. I'll get me some pieces and give it a try. I got my jig in place, I got my router in place, I have my sacrificial piece. I have some scrap pieces here that just to do my test. I'm going to just set it on my jig. I'm not going to set this quite up yet. What I did was I marked 1/8 of an inch on my piece right there. I set my jig. I just rested on my jig. I bring it to my bit. The height of this bit, this top, and I'm going to set that right now. I'm going to bring the bottom of this cutter to the top of this line. So I'll bring it close by. Once the height is set, we're going to lock it in place here. Now we have to set our depth. We're going to bring the fence all the way in. Take our ruler, push it up against the bearing. Lock the one side in. And I like to always double check. I'm going to push my jig right up tight to the fence, slide my piece in. Now this, basically what this is just so you don't get blowout. So you just push it up against, push your piece up against, and lock it in place. Bring your stop all the way forward. You're ready to make the cut. We're pretty much done with the jig. We're going to take the bit out and swap it for the other one. Okay, now setting the height of this bit, you're going to take the one that you made the cut with, and you're going to set this top cutter even with this top piece here. So we're going to lower it. Until it becomes flush. Just a little bit more. That's pretty good. I will lock that in place. And now we're going to set the bearing. We're going to take our ruler, bring the fence in, lock the one side down. And I like to slide this back and forth. When this bearing turns, I know I am good. Now we're ready to make the cut. Now let's take a look here. That's the cut that that last bit made. And that is nice. Nice and flush. Now we'll see if it's square. And that is looking great. So that worked out pretty good. I didn't use that plexiglass for that straight edge. I used the bed for the straight edge and it worked really well. I'm very pleased with it. Great tool to have. Now I finally have one. I don't have to do it the other way. And easy to make. Less than half hour, I guess. Yeah, I took my time. It took me a little bit longer, but it definitely worked out. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.